KammakazeTV here in Stockholm, Sweden, standing in the center of the Tele2 Arena where on January 24th, Alexander Gustafsson takes on Anthony Rumble Johnson. Earlier on today, I spoke to the local MMA and mainstream Swedish media to get their reaction to what will no doubt be an historic event for the UFC. Ryan, so UFC Stockholm here in the Tele2 Arena. First of all, what do you make of this arena stepping into it for the very first time?
Yeah, it's amazing. It doesn't feel like the kind of place where you'd have a fight. Like, this is a big soccer game arena, maybe an Olympic qualifier. Like, that's what this feels like. So I'm trying to imagine, like, how many people they're actually going to put on the floor here. You know, this is like Bruce Springsteen concert type of atmosphere. So I'm interested to see what the layout's going to be, because it's not really apparent here. It's just, you can feel the size, and this is going to be massive.
It was a year ago when some members in Alex's team talked about having a title fight in a outdoor stadium show, you know, in Sweden, and I thought it was a little too much, you know. Alex is one guy, but he's one guy only. We don't have the second big Swede or third big Swede, so I thought it was too much, and it was too optimistic. And I thought, if you asked me a month ago, I would say the same. So it feels pretty amazing to be here.
You know, we've heard Gary Cook say it's all about bringing local fighters to the local market, local events, things of that nature. And we've got all the ingredients for that here with, you know, Gustafsson being such a big superstar here in Sweden. However, the main event will begin at between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. How much of a factor do you think that'll play in regards to ticket sales, for example?
I think it will have a factor with the casual fan. I mean, I'm trying to predict ticket sales. I mean, people are talking about an immediate sellout. I don't know. I think this is going to take a slow roll to get there. You know, I think Alex puts 10,000, you know, fans in the seats. I think the UFC name puts another 5,000. And I think they really need a mix of some more local countries to start getting a couple thousand here and a couple thousand there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't sell out immediately. And I know lots of people are planning on coming and they talk about the fights, but then when you actually mention the timing, which I don't think has been that publicized, and maybe that's a good thing, it's just a bit hard. So I think this is a tough one to bring the girlfriend to, right. You know.
Hopefully there'll be 30,000 people in the crowd watching and cheering. Mind-blowing.
We're here in Stockholm just a month ago for that fight night card, and you know, speaking to the media and the fans, the feeling wasn't that great in terms of, you know, most of the Swedish fighters didn't win. The attendance was again down from the previous event. Were you surprised that the UFC decided to bring an event back to Stockholm so soon, but then on top of that, such a massive event that this is?
Yeah, and I mean, there's really, I think, two separate categories here. We have Alex, and then we have the rest of the Swedish MMA. And the rest of the guys outside of Alex, those are like hardcore, you know, fans. But what Alex does is he's the guy on talk shows. He's the guy you'll see on the morning show. He's the guy when this fight gets announced, it'll be on the local news. So he really elevates it where the casual fans will come out for Alex. So I think they put these in different categories, and I don't think they expected to sell out with the last card that they had. But I think when they know Alex is on the card, it's a whole new ball game. And, you know, this is proof of the plan, you know, of what they see in Alex.
I'm surprised, but why did it? It's mostly because of the team around Alex. They convinced the UFC to come here. This is not something that the UFC themselves did or wanted to do. It's a team, the management team around Alex, who convinced the All-Star team that they're all the same. They convinced the UFC to come here. They said, we will sell the tickets, you know, we will make this. And specifically Thomas, who is one of Alex's managers, he's been really active in this to get the UFC here, and he's convinced them to come here. So it's mostly because of them, not the UFC, that the event's gonna take place here.
You've got your finger on the pulse in terms of, you know, MMA in this part of the world. Is this breaking through to the mainstream media, an announcement like this with Gustafsson headlining the Tele2 Arena?
Yeah, and it really happened quickly with the John Jones fight. Even leading up to it, there was a bit of national media, and I mean, you'd get spreads in the paper, but once that fight happened and people saw highlights, and there was a lot of controversy with what actually happened in Toronto. I mean, the next day, there were reporters, you know, waiting at the airport for Alex to come. I mean, he was a rock star as soon as he got back, and things have changed ever since.
Is this main event, Gustafsson versus Johnson, enough to fill out this arena, or what do you think the UFC needs to do to fill out this arena? Do you have any worries or concerns about this?
Yeah, one of my biggest worries is about the time. I think like mainstream fans can look at it as an event beyond the event. Like, oh, it's a nice thing to do, you know, be up till 5 o'clock in the morning and watch UFC live in a soccer stadium. But for the hardcore fans, it's kind of difficult to sell them a ticket, especially if they bought one for the last event. Spend it now on this one and only for Alex and Johnson. And if Jones gets defeated by Cormier, then most people kind of realize that Cormier is probably going to get a rematch, or Jones is going to get a rematch with Cormier. So the title contender fight is not going to happen. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned about selling out the arena.
What have you made of Anthony Johnson and Gustafsson in the last couple of days, doing all the media and the PR tour here in Stockholm?
Yeah, I mean, it's good that they're getting out and reaching the media, but I think there's a bit of a lack of buzz between the two, and kind of like when Alex fought Jimmy Manuwa, you know, and the dynamic was they were kind of buddies and they were on a road trip to promote the fight, right? But when John Jones and Alex came and we met them at the Grand Hotel before, like those guys didn't hang out. Those guys entered separately, they left separately. If they had to shake hands one time, they did it and they left. I mean, you could feel the energy. Those guys wanted to punch each other, you know? They were like wild dogs just waiting for the day. And I think that's what hurts this build up a little, like it's not there, you know? And I think I wouldn't mind a little push or a little mean stare or a little Alex, you know, crouching over. I think you need a little showmanship to help push this fight, and that's missing. But, you know, maybe that'll be coming in the next few days. We'll see where it goes from here. But, you know, it just seems like they're almost teammates in this, you know, big event.
Break the fight down for us and give us a prediction of who will win and how.
Alexander will win. If I think objectively, I think Alexander will win. He got the cardio and he got the technique, but Anthony Johnson got like the knockout factor, and that's the factor in every fight. He has big time. He can knock Alexander out. He can knock everybody out, I think. So it's Alex has to you know, slip and be fast and take it to the later rounds.
I'm gonna go with Alex, but I think that Johnson is he's the most dangerous opponent for Alex in the UFC, because he can knock him out. Johnson can knock anybody out, and that's always a big danger. So for Alex, he has to rely on his speed and his cardio. I don't think that Johnson can keep up with Alex's speed and cardio for the championships rounds.
I predict a stoppage. I like Alex late. You know, I think it's a bit underplayed that Rumble here, he was really sitting on the couch for a couple months waiting for his legal problems to go away. And you could just sense he's huffing and puffing after a 10-minute workout, and the guy's huge. So I think he's going to have a tough time, I think, getting in peak shape for this fight. And Alex's knee, he got that cleaned up months ago, and he's been on the mats. He's been improving. I mean, ever since he got that Manuwa fight, you could tell, like, he's not working to stay in shape. I mean, he's been developing his game, and he's really prepping for John Jones. The amount of spinning defense he has and the offensive tools that he has, I mean, he's really growing when no one's watching. So I think Alex is going to wear him out. Alex has a stiff chin. He's got a sweet jab, and I think he's going to wear Johnson out. So if I had to bet money on anything, I'd go like 4th round TKO.